Alright, YouTube. So, I know I did tell you guys about the hat, and that video is coming. Some stuff came up, and I'm working on some things, hopefully for that specific video, and it will get worked out, and it'll be up hopefully this weekend. But until then, I did promise that I was going to post a video, so this is just going to be a short one. In my live stream when I was playing Hogwarts Legacy, I did mention I am a big MMA UFC fan, and there's a big fight tomorrow night, Saturday, UFC 284, Makhachev versus Volkanovski. So, I'm just going to do quick picks for right now, and yeah. So, the main card is pretty good. I don't know everybody on the main card. There's a lot of like up and comers and stuff like that. So, I'm just gonna do pretty much the fighters that I know and what I think. So, Makhachev and Alexander Volkanovski. So this is for the lightweight belt, 155. Volkanovski is the featherweight belt champ. He's 145-pound champion, so he's actually moving up to 155 to challenge Islam, who is the 155 lightweight champ right now. So he's looking to become champ status. Many have done it before, so we'll see if he gets it done. Problem is, he's fighting Islam, and Islam is arguably, one of the best right now. He was a protege and same training partner camp as Khabib Nurmagomedov, who retired and also has stepped away from all coaching activities and duties to spend more time with his family. And also, he said, this is Nurmagomedov, he said, anytime he goes to a fight or anything, even if he's like coaching somebody else like Islam, everybody talks about him and his legacy and, all of that stuff. And he wants kind of his fighters, his teammates to get the spotlight now because obviously he's retired. So it makes sense. But that's going to maybe play a factor. Not really sure because, I would imagine he's still training him behind the scenes. They are from the same camp and training group. In the States, they train with AKA under like Daniel Cormier. So, but if you wanted to simplify it down, Islam is basically the same fighter as Nurmagomedov, arguably with better striking. Nothing, world-breaking here, but he does have some good striking. Pressure wrestler, sambo expert, just like a menace. He's just a brute force. So if he gets you on the ground, which he usually does in every fight, he's going to ground and pound you, tire you out, submit you. I mean, the ground is a terrible, terrible place for him to take you, and he's really good at getting you there. That being said, Volkanovski is tough as nails. He's fought Max Holloway twice, I believe, maybe 3 times, but definitely twice. He's the guy who took the belt off of Max Holloway, who at the time was, again, top tier, nobody, unbeatable, and he came in and got it done. Granted, the second fight people thought, they did fight 3 times. The second fight, a lot of people thought, Holloway had won, but, the judges scored it for Volkanovski. But either way, great fight, great fighter, tough as nails. I mean, he's fighting at, lightweight 155, and his weight class is 145, where he is the champ, so 10 pounds lighter. However, he was a rugby player before, getting into mixed martial arts, and I think reports said like he was like 205. He's a small guy, but he's tough. He's big. Yeah, 5'6", 25 wins, 1 loss. The other interesting part about this, let's see, Max Holloway. Yeah, he fought Max Holloway 3 times. Yeah. The other interesting part about this fight is that On the pound for pound rankings, Volkanovski is ranked number 1. Islam is ranked number 2. So this is really going to see who the pound for pound number 1 is. So it's a big fight. Now, all these pop-ups. I don't know really who I got in this. The safe bet would be Islam, just because he's bigger, arguably stronger. I mean, any fighter that's, had an interview with, after a fight with Islam, and Khabib too, has said like their strength is unnatural. Like it's a different thing. They don't necessarily look physically imposing, but man, their control and their technique and their strength, the grip strength is amazing. I mean, Islam won the belt off of Charles Oliveira de Bronx, who is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specialist, like quicksand on the ground, very dangerous guard game to play, submits everybody, and he submitted him. He arm triangled him, I believe. So that just goes to show you the power that he has against a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, one of the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners, in the UFC, and he submitted him. So he's strong. He has good striking, but he's not necessarily a knockout artist. He's a little bit more crisp and technical than Khabib was. I don't think he has the advantage on the striking, though, with Volkanovski. I think Volkanovski's striking is better. It's crisper, it's a little faster, more accurate as well, I would say. I mean, he went, 5, 10, 15 rounds total with Max Holloway, who is one of the best MMA boxers in the UFC. Second fight, arguably, he lost. But the third one, he just took him to town. It was a clinic, and yeah. So Max Holloway is tough as nails. I don't know, and he didn't get a knockout or anything, but it's hard to say because Max is tough, and so is Islam. But Islam, if you can see, he's 23-1. He has one loss. And I believe that loss was, TKO to Adriano Martins. So he lost by a knockout. Volkanovski, what's his loss? His loss is also, he was knocked out, I think way earlier in his career. 2013. He wasn't even in the UFC at that time, by Corey Nelson. I don't know who that guy is. But, he beat Chad Mendes. Volkanovski's a tough dude. Chad Mendes, Darren Elkins, Jose Aldo, Max Holloway 3 times, Brian Ortega, Korean Zombie, Chan Sung Jung. He's tough. So he can get it done for sure. He's got 12 TKOs, and 3 submissions. Let's see Islam's stats. Islam only has 4 KOs, TKOs, and 11 submissions. So I think that's a clear indicator right there for you guys. On the feet, Volkanovski should take this. It's not going to be easy by any means, but if it does stay on the feet, I think Volkanovski can eke out a decision. I don't know about a knockout, but he could definitely win a decision. The problem is, Islam's wrestling is, otherworldly, and even Volkanovski said like he's prepared to go to the ground. He's prepared to get taken down. He's sure it's going to happen at least once. So a lot of his training has been takedown defense, wrestling, and also scrambles to get back up to his feet. We'll see if that works or not. So kind of really a striker versus wrestler sort of thing. Safe bet, though, for me is Islam, just because he is bigger naturally. Wrestling, when you're that good of a wrestler, it's hard to stop and it's hard to do anything. Volkanovski's smaller. Height-wise, Makhachev is 5'10", Volkanovski is 5'6", so he's got a massive height advantage. Yeah, I think Islam beats him, retains his belt, and denies Volkanovski his champ status. I wouldn't be mad if I was wrong on that one, though, because I do, as much as I didn't like Volkanovski for beating Max Holloway, who was one of my favorites, still is. The man's proved himself, and he's really good. The only other fight I'm really going to talk about, because everybody else, they're newer. I don't want to say newer. Obviously, their records are pretty good, but they're trying to climb the rankings. You can call me casual if you want. I'm probably more like invested casual. But yeah, so I follow bigger names. Yair Rodriguez versus Josh Emmett. Now this is a good fight too. Emmett, he's good, but he kind of is a bit of a decision machine. He's just all around just a really solid fighter. I mean, his level of competition hasn't always been, the highest, but he's fought some big names, Michael Johnson, Dan Ige, or Ig, whatever, Calvin Kattar. But, he's just an all-around really solid fighter. Yair is a striking expert. This man is unorthodox with his strikes, and also just very, very good with coming up with stuff and being creative in there. You can see his KOs 5, submissions 3. This one's a little harder for me, because if I would give the wrestling in this to Josh Emmett, but I don't necessarily know what he would do with his wrestling. I mean, he only has 2 submission wins. I think for this fight, stylistically, I'm going to go with Yair. He's a more exciting fighter. He's very interesting. I like him a lot. Josh Emmett's, he's no slouch. He's very tough as nails. But I got Yair taking this one. TKO. He's wild. And Yair beat Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie, with like this crazy spinning elbow, and when they fought, and that was like a bloodbath fight. It was one of the craziest fights I've ever seen. It's right here on the screen. But and Chan Sung Jung, he doesn't get KO'd. They call him the Korean Zombie for a reason. I think lately his chin, has finally started to crack. You could make the argument that that elbow was a tough one, besides Jose Aldo. But he's the Zombie because he just keeps walking forward. So if Yair is able to knock him out, I don't think there's any reason why he shouldn't knock out Josh Emmett. And his losses have been KO and decision. So that's for the interim belt for the 145-pound championship, because Volkanovski obviously has moved up to face Islam in the 155. So my two picks are Islam for the 155-pound belt and Yair Rodriguez for the 145-pound interim belt. We'll see what happens. Drop a comment below. Please subscribe to my channel. This was kind of just a quick video. The hat video is coming on at some point. Hopefully this weekend. Like I said, I'm working on some stuff, so please stay tuned, stick around. That's going to be like, it's probably going to be a 2-parter, 1 for the hat and 2 for the backstory. So stick around for that, but comment, like, subscribe. I'm also streaming now Hogwarts Legacy, the Harry Potter game that just came out. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate all the views. So yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys all then. Thanks.